My parents are mad at me because my boyfriend's parents like taking me out. I 16F am adopted child, my parents are pretty old, they're in their late 50s, so they're pretty old school. Our problem started when I got in my second year of my new high school and I started making more friends that want to do stuff with me. This year I got a boyfriend, which my parents adore, they see him as very friendly and respectful. His parents are in a good position, two very stable, good jobs, and raised their son right. The family adores me and loves to take me to places. I was about to go out with them to some fancy restaurants and hikes for the break until my parents ruined it. Whenever I'm over to their home there is always a home-cooked meal, everything's so homely for me, I love spending time with them. They've taken me out a few times past 8, and everything seemed fine. But my parents are upset that they always take me out and they never have the opportunity to take my boyfriend out. They think I'm purposely going out with them more often than them. Which is untrue, they said they want to get to know him more, but we are kids, I just want to have my relationship to myself. They already know him pretty well, his sports, goals for college, family members, and his religious and cultural background. I don't know what else they want from him. Whenever he asks to take me out they are upset that they don't get to take us there, even though I thought it was customary for the man to take the woman out. I can invite him over, but I am the type of person who loves going out. I hate staying at home as an only child, it eats at me too much and it's so lonely, so even going out to someone else's home is so refreshing. It's a wonderful environment to get some air since I'm always home. It's to the point where they require me to have him over and his parents cannot take me out more than twice. They started more angry when yesterday I had asked to go out with his family because they were offering to take me out to eat later that evening. I had already eaten, but I still wanted to go to spend time with my boyfriend because he was busy all weekend. The restaurant had an arcade in it, so even if I was not completely hungry I could get a dessert and have an arcade date. They offered to take me at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I really wanted to go because I couldn't see my boyfriend for a while and it's been a while since he hung out. This was a wonderful opportunity to get me out the house after 5 days, so I expressed how much I wanted to go. But my dad blew up on me, told me, "You can't fucking go. I'm tired of you always asking me to go out with them. Maybe if you got out of your fucking room and treated us right you would get to do things." I was really heartbroken. I am really scared of my dad, and I never really talk to him because I'm scared of what he's going to yell at me about, and my mom never wants to something with me that I would like to do. I wish I was like normal teenagers. I'm at this age where I want to do things myself with my own choice. I'm about to have a job as well. Does it really matter that my boyfriend's parents want to do things with me and I enjoy their company? Isn't it normal for teenagers to be in their room and be on the phones with friends? I mean, it is their room after all. I watch movies with my mom 2 to 3 times a week, always do my chores, and I never yell or speak disrespectfully, as well as a B honor roll in school. I am never out of line. I get what needs to be done. Am I really in the wrong? Everyone I speak to this with is telling me my parents are out of line and are very mean about it, and making the situation way too complicated than need me. Can someone tell me if I did it all wrong? Aita for telling my boyfriend if he chooses his mother in life, her better choose her in death too. I, 30, F and 36, M have been dating for 8 years. For context, he was raised by a single mother, 70 and healthy, of 7 kids. Who doesn't like any of her children's partners? My partner is the youngest. My boyfriend and I often spoken about the impact the absences of his father had on him. He told me he wants to be around to raise his future kids. I was raised in a 2-parent household and I wanted the same for our future kids. We had many discussions and were on the same page about everything. We agreed that we would live together in 4 years, 2019. In 2019, he purchased a building with 5 units. His brother and his family live in one, wife and 3 kids. My boyfriend and his mother live in one and he rents out the other 3. When my boyfriend bought his building he told me he wanted to give his mother a unit and for me to move in with him. I told him that was very sweet and was on board with it. He said he wanted 2 years to fix up her unit, then she would move out and I would move in, 2021. I already own a home, so the plan was always to move in with him and rent out my house. 2 years ago I got pregnant, 2021, and this made his mother upset. She wished death on the baby and said that she wanted nothing to do with me or the baby. She made it very clear that she was never going to move out. She told me she is the queen of the house and I would be the queen when she dies. I was furious and asked how she could say such hateful things. My boyfriend spoke to her and they had an argument. He told me he would not force her to move out. I reminded him that his plan was to always put her in her own unit, which is in the same building. He said she was not interested. I suggested that he move in with me and he said he did not want to live in my city. He said that I should just move in with them. I refused. Why would I want to live with someone who doesn't like me? I asked why he wanted to raise his daughter in a broken home. His mother told me I better get used to being a single mother. She said I only have one so it won't be that difficult. I live in a different city from my boyfriend. We live an hour apart. When our daughter was born, he spent the first 4 weeks at my house. Every day he would go home to do something for his mother. This really annoyed me. His mother does not have any ailments and is able to do things for herself. I suggested that he ask his brother to do whatever needs to be done. He told me it wouldn't be possible as his brother is very busy with his family. When I asked him why he had to go home every day, he said his mother needed him because she was feeling lonely. I asked him when he thinks he will cut the umbilical cord. This struck a nerve. His mother got COVID and I nursed her back to health. I thought this was the turning point for us. However, once she got better she became even more hateful towards me. She told me she doesn't like me and never will. I asked her if I did something to her. She told me I hadn't done anything and she just doesn't like me. I spoke to my boyfriend about it and he told me she never likes anyone he dates. He told me all of his past relationships have ended because of his mother. She was mean to all of his past partners and basically ran them away. He knows he needs to set more boundaries. He says he feels guilty because she was a single mom who took care of him, so now it is his turn to take care of her. I told him that he should prioritize the family that we are building. I asked him when he thinks he will be ready to live his life and he said when she dies. I told him since he is choosing his mother over his family, remember to choose her in death as well. I will not wait for his mother to die to live my life. Aita? Am I wrong for not kicking out my niece? My 32F sister Sue, 39F, and her husband Dan, 44M, have 2 kids, Lily, 11F, and Amy, 16F. Recently Dan's mom broke a leg. She lived alone so Dan and Sue took her in. She got Amy's bedroom. Amy moved in with Lily. Late on the 25th Amy showed up at my apartment begging me to let her stay. She said it's too much, she has zero privacy. Lily's constantly going through her things, takes clothes without asking, breaks stuff, is so loud that Amy can't do anything, and when Amy complains, her parents just tell her to be patient. The final straw was when Lily found a present with a note for Amy from a guy from her class. Lily loudly announced Amy was in love and started reading the note to their parents. Noon knew about him yet and the note was obviously personal, nothing inappropriate, so Amy tried to take it from her. The result was her sister startling and Dan yelling at Amy to let go of her. Amy grabbed the note and ran out of the house straight to me. I live close by. I was at a loss. I said I'd talk to her parents for her and called Sue to let her know Amy was safe and to get her side. Sue asked to come over but Amy didn't want to see anyone, so Sue said to tell her sorry and that she could stay the night. The day after we agreed Sue would come alone to talk to Amy. 20 minutes later she shows up with Dan and Lily. Lily apologized to Amy through tears, asking her not to hate her. Amy accepted but looked uncomfortable. Dan then told Amy to apologize for grabbing Lily but she refused. Dan said she had to for them to get along but Amy said she still didn't want to go home. After that the screaming started. Dan called Amy a spoiled brat. He never had his own room. Amy said if she can't stay here she'll go to friends and stop talking to all of us. Lily kept crying and Sue just ignored everything until Dan declared they needed to get back home to his mom and tried to push Amy out the door. Sue broke them apart and said Dan should take Lily home, she'd handle it. She told Amy she'd make Lily act nicer and asked if that changed anything. Amy said no, so Sue said okay, she can stay. No clue what she told Dan, but it didn't work cause he keeps calling and texting. He says I'm basically kidnapping Amy and enabling her emotional blackmail, that I'm teaching her if she runs she'll get whatever she wants. That it's not a big deal to share, and Lily apologized and is feeling terrible. That Amy is disrespecting his injured mom by not letting her have her room. That I'm interfering in a private matter by giving Amy an out, undermining his authority just because Sue is my sister. Sue says she's trying but I doubt it. Dan even showed up at my apartment demanding to talk to Amy. He refused to leave so I let him in but Amy locked herself in the bathroom until he left, threatening to call the cops next time. I'm keeping a kid from her dad which is messed up but I worry where Amy will go if I kick her out. Reconciliation seems far away with all that screaming.